the All in the Family Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome in. We're so excited. We did the draft, and this is football season. It's about to start. Thursday night.
I smell leather.
Ooh, I
smell pumpkins.
Pumpkins, leather, and sweaty men tackling each other. So we're going to skip news because there's not really much going on, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to do a draft review. So we're going to start with just the way it is on the website, which is my team and your team. First, we're going to go through the matchups and do that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's get right into it. We'll try not to keep you guys too long. So the first team that we are going to review is the Philly Special. The word on the street is the Philly Special had the best draft. And, I can see why that's the talk of the town. Your team is built well as far as running backs go. You have Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and James Conner, which is good. And then, Kyler Murray, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Williams, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and you punted tight end and went with Cole Kmet. Your bench is pretty decent with Chase Edmonds and Adam Thielen. And then, defense and kicker. Top of the line. But I think that where your best pick, in my opinion, was going with Saquon Barkley in round 2. A lot of question marks about is Saquon Barkley going to bounce back because the last 2 years he's been injured, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
But, I think that Saquon Barkley he's like top talent.
Yeah.
He's got the talent for sure, and now this year he's going to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
There's really no competition whatsoever behind him. They have a system where last year the same system in Buffalo really got the most out of Devin Singletary, and he's no Saquon Barkley. So I think
he'll be good, man. I do.
I think that was a really good pick. Other than Chase Edmonds, I don't like your bench. We're a big believer. I'm a big believer in bench players because running backs especially get hurt. Melvin Gordon is also a decent bench player, but you got to be able to weather the storm.
Yep.
I can't think of, other than Jonathan Taylor, the guy that plays all year usually finishes top 5. But that just doesn't happen. Kamara, McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb. I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Yep.
Starting running backs that get hurt. So, but I do, with that all being said, I do think you have one of the better teams.
Yes.
You did a great job drafting. So
Thank you. I'll just say real quick about my team. I'm not going to say much because you just said a bunch. The only thing I don't like is at the end of the draft. Well, there's 2 things I don't like. I have 3 Cardinals, but I think they're going to be a really good offense. And at the end of the draft, I took Chris Olave and Sky Moore back-to-back. I wish I would have done that differently. But okay, so let's move on to Christmas money. Let's take a look at your team. What was your draft grade? I don't remember off the top of my head.
B+.
B+. So you had a good draft grade. I think that overall your team is really good. Let's see. What pick did you have? You had the 10th pick. Okay, so I love DeAndre Swift this year. I think that he has the potential and could very well be a top 5 running back. I like Javonte Williams a lot, so I think you're good. Really strong at running backs. Tony Pollard is great. This is where I think that you went wrong in the draft was when you took J.K. Dobbins. Who'd you take? Dobbins and Pollard next to, or who was
Jacobs.
Okay, Josh Jacobs and Dobbins. So in my opinion, I think Josh Jacobs, he's a good flex play, so it's not bad. But I don't like him and Dobbins. I don't like Dobbins. There's so much question marks around him. Kenyon Drake's there now. But other than that, I think that you have a really good team. When you did that was like that's where you went wrong. That, in my opinion, that's where you drafted wrong. Was Dobbins and Jacobs. They're like the same. They're just the most basic running backs that you'll never be excited about. But they'll probably get you 10 points. Double-digit points every game.
I read a stat about Josh Jacobs last year. He scored over 10 points every single week,
Yeah.
which is pretty.
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
I mean that's
That's a flex player.
That's a good flex. That's Steady Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is definitely a question mark.
Yeah. So yeah, I think overall you had a good draft, and we get to play each other week 1. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We play each other week 1 every single year in this league. We just drafted another league, and we're playing each other in that league too. So it's always weird that happens.
All right, moving on. So I'm going to go right from the top. I'm going to go right to Dirt McGirt.
Yep.
Dirt McGirt, he drafted right before me, I believe. Dirt McGirt drafted at, let's see, let's pull it up here.
9th.
He drafted 9th, right before me. And first round pick, he sniped me. He took Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be known, I was going to go Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, Joe Mixon. I like Joe Mixon.
But he took Joe Mixon right in front of me. That's a decent pick. You can't go wrong. You got to go with the talent there.
Mm-hmm.
He also has Justin Herbert and Devontae Adams, which, with Joe Mixon, Justin Herbert, and Devontae Adams, he'll be in some games.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to go on record saying that Dave did not have a good draft, I don't think.
Yeah, I would agree.
There is some really questionable picks. No more than Travis Etienne Jr. in round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't play all last year. Yeah, he took a shot. He could be good. He has a lot of talent. So, I could eat crow here. And then again, he took, I could be wrong, but I think he took Dameon Pierce and Brian Robinson in like the 7th and 8th round. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
I got it here.
Brian Robinson in the 10th round, and Dameon Pierce went in round 7.
Yeah.
So, I know he's taken. It seems like a lot of the draft picks he made was, swinging for the fence.
Yeah. I think he started off really well. He started off good with Mixon, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Was Justin Herbert his round 3 pick?
Justin Herbert, I think it was. ETN round 3, Justin Herbert round 4.
Okay, yeah, ETN's obviously, I think, it's a reach. And then, he's got, like you said, Dameon Pierce. There's a lot of reaches on there. So I personally I don't expect the way things are right now for his team to come near the playoffs unless things change, which they could, but.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, so you're up next.
Okay. K Slayers, Kevin. Kevin, I like his team. I like a lot of the players that he has are players that I really like. But the only thing I think with Kevin's draft was he reached a lot. Like he took Jalen Hurts, I think, in the 4th round.
Yeah.
He goes, in the 6th or 7th? Typically. He goes way later than that.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see where he took Jalen Hurts.
He took Jalen Hurts in the 4th round.
He did?
I'm pretty sure.
No, he took him in the 5th round.
5th round. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's just a little bit earlier, but I guess if you like a guy that you want to get him. But I like Jalen Hurts a lot at quarterback. I think he could be the number 1 at the end of the year.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, if you think he could be the number 1 and you take him in the 5th round, is that really reaching?
I'm just mad that he took him because I wanted him. I was gonna pick him. That's why.
Yeah,
I wanted him.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So he has probably the best receiving core. First 3 receivers. You got Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, and Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton, I really think is going to be a number 1 this year, top 12. Where he lacks is running back.
Yeah, which, from experience, you just don't win, man.
Yeah.
Without good running backs.
Didn't he do this last year, too?
Yeah, he did.
And he did well because he made some moves. He got Cordell Patterson. So if he plays it right, if he makes a trade, But
if you remember, everything went right. He had no injuries.
Yeah, last year.
His team was healthy. He didn't have, I don't think he had a starter miss a game until week 12 or something.
My personal strategy is, running backs are very valuable and there's very few of them.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, there's very many, and there's always
guys that come out of nowhere.
Exactly, yeah. So, He's got Kyle Pitts as a tight end, which he's going to take a step up this year.
Yeah, I think
He's got a decent team. He needs to make some moves, whether it's in a trade or waiver wire, to really solidify.
Yeah.
To strengthen it up a little bit. But I think he had a pretty decent draft, I'd say.
Okay, next we're going to. I'm going to go to OG. OG, he went first round Jamar Chase, then he went Kamara, then he went Cam Akers, A.J. Brown, Joe Burrow. I think that he has a good team. I really think that Todd's team is going to depend on the health of Chris Godwin, as crazy as it sounds.
No, that's a big...
Yeah, if Chris Godwin can come back sooner rather than later, and because he's great, man. I do love Ramondre Stevenson as a bench player, but he's got a couple really nice players. Nothing like Chase is great, A.J. Brown. Obviously Alvin Kamara has that big time court case
legal
looming. Yeah. So you never know. Cam Akers coming off the Achilles injury. So, I think the best move that Todd made was going Jamar Chase in round 1.
Yeah.
He had the 8th pick. You really can't pass on Chase at that point. And then coming back around, Kamara. Obviously, with the court case thing, Kamara, if there was no court case, Kamara would have never made it past the 6th or 7th pick. So because of that, he came to Todd in round 2. And then he, made a couple other nice picks, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle. I'm going on the record, don't like Joe Burrow as a fantasy football quarterback. Just don't like him.
Yeah.
Great NFL quarterback, reminds me a lot of Tom Brady early on.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat him in the playoffs. He's just got it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fantasy, he's not putting up big numbers.
Yeah, there's 3 things I want to say about Todd's team. Number 1, I agree 100% about Chris Godwin. When I was looking at the teams earlier and just trying to, think about some things, if Chris Godwin is healthy early and plays good, that's a separator from him, him for sure.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think that taking Jamar Chase as his first overall pick was a mistake because Austin Eckler was still there and he went next. I mean, Jamar Chase could be better, but he's really weak at running back. Yeah. He's got Cam Akers, you know what I'm saying? And Joe Burrow, I 100% agree. He took Joe Burrow over Kyler
he took
Murray.
Jamar Chase at 7.
He took Jamar Chase over Austin Eckler and Joe Burrow over Kyler Murray, and I think that was a mistake.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
my takeaway from OG. But, OG is the reigning champ, so, who am I to question his ways? He obviously knows what he's doing.
His ways are higher than your ways.
Way higher.
And his thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So
I can't comprehend. Okay, moving on. First crack! Let's get excited. What does this mean, Jordan? I love you, Jordan. What is first crack?
What is the first crack? What is it? The first crack of dawn? The first crack of midnight? The first pass crack?
Matthew Stafford at quarterback.
Don't like it.
I don't like it either. He's got what has he got? The elbow?
The elbow. He's got the people's elbow.
He's got the elbow. Okay.
Greg Royals, rest in peace.
Michael Pittman Jr., Terry McLaurin, Al Robinson, Derek Cook, Aaron Jones.
Dalvin Cook,
Darren Cook. Idiot.
Man, you are not on your game tonight.
Okay, so I like his running backs a lot. Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones.
Of course.
I do not like his wide receiver. I like Michael Pittman. Don't like Scary Terry with Wentz there at all. And I'm not in on Allen Robinson personally, but I know you and a lot of other people are.
Yeah.
So I like Damian Harris on his bench. I like Nyheim Hines on his bench. So I think he's got a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I do like Elijah Moore in the flex. The 2 starting running backs can't do much better than that. I'm not a big Matthew Stafford fan. I know last year he lit it up, but, his elbow is declining. He's getting older. He's a lot older this year. Yeah.
There's just no upside with him. Like, he'll get probably 20 points a game. but he's never going to have.
And that was true last year, too.
Yeah, he's not going to have like a 35, 40-point game.
I mean, he's ranked 13th. Why would you pick a quarterback ranked 13th?
I mean, listen,
10 up there's
Jordan
starters.
As much as I bust his balls, he's been doing fantasy for a while, so he might see something in him that we don't see. Maybe, I don't know.
All right, next I'm going to go with all or nothing. This is Mark. He's new to our league. Mark had the number 2 overall pick, which he took Christian McCaffrey. Can't go wrong with that. Obviously you could go McCaffrey or you could go Derrick Henry or Justin Jefferson. He went with CMC. I personally love the pick.
Yeah.
And then he went, the thing that I do like, I'll start with the pros. I like going CMC round 1. I like that he built his team with some running backs. He got Elijah Mitchell. He also got playoff Lenny. He went with Darren Waller, who's a good tight end. You can't go wrong there. He's going to produce. But I don't like he went 49er heavy. He went Trey Lance, Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell. And it's, like similar to your team with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team. But you're counting on one NFL team too much.
Yeah.
I don't even like personally going wide receiver and running back from the same team. Mm-hmm. I would do it in certain cases, but so it could go either way. He also took Tom Brady after taking Trey Lance. He took Tom Brady like with the next pick.
Well,
or something.
And he took 2 tight ends too. He took 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends.
Bad
Just
fantasy football.
That's not a good.
Strategy.
No, you're wasting picks there.
And he was talking up Julio Jones real big about an hour ago. Mm-hmm. Now I see why. He's got him on his bench.
Yeah. yeah. And he's got Tom Brady too. So, hey, maybe if that works out, that'd be good. We'll see.
Yep.
Okay, Team Flash. He has Josh Allen, Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen, Gabe Davis, Nick Chubb, A.J. Dillon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He had, what pick did he have?
He must have Cooper Kupp 5th, was it?
Yeah, he had the 5th pick, so he took Cooper Kupp, and then Team Flash, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
So I personally don't like Josh Allen. That's probably his 3rd pick. Yep, Josh Allen. I just, it could pay off, but it has to, or else you wasted that 3rd round pick. It's there's not really, you're just going to break even if it pans out well. I mean, if he's the number 1 overall fantasy player, then yeah, it's worth it. But there's just, he has to be that. Or else
too much can go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I love Cooper Kupp at 5. I mean, even if he does 3/4 of what he did last year, it's a good pick.
Well, where he redeemed himself is I like that he took Gabe Davis, since he does have Josh Allen. That's a nice stack. I think he's going to be really good this year. And he took a shot on D-Hop,
Yeah.
So I don't know what round he took him in, though. Probably super late.
He took him late, yeah. I also like Hunter Renfrow on the bench.
Yeah, I like Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going with the next team, and I'm going to go with the Leatherheads. The old Leatherheads, man, he just won't go away. There's a couple things that are for sure. Death, everybody's going to die in this life, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to pay taxes, and the Leatherheads are going to go with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he's going to go with Dak Prescott.
Every single
he
year.
can't help himself.
So there's some sure things in life.
Yeah.
I do like the Leatherheads' 1st and 2nd round pick.
He started off so strong.
Austin Eckler and Najee Harris is as good as it gets right there.
Started off real strong.
And that's going to keep him, as long as those 2 stay healthy, that is going to keep him in every single game.
Yeah.
I also like T. Higgins. I also like Rashad Bateman, Deontay Johnson. I think Sean has a good team.
Yeah,
I do think he's very weak at quarterback. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll compete.
Yeah,
I really do.
I know Deontay Johnson. He got injured when we were drafting, and Sean didn't know that. He, happened after he drafted him or whatever. But Deontay Johnson, I think, is going to be really good. There's a lot of things, supposedly that he wanted to do that Big Ben didn't want to do, like special plays and stuff like that. So I think he's going to be, at least this year, I think he's the number one on that team, and then Pickens takes over eventually.
Yeah,
I think
Pickens is
Deontay Johnson's going to be just fine.
Yep. All right, next. I think this is the last team.
Okay, so this is the last team, and this potentially is our up-and-coming star.
Yeah.
These two teams right here, this is the battle for the up-and-coming star of the league. Right here. The Leatherheads and in to win. Dave last year had probably, did he finish last year?
Possibly.
Possibly. And this year he comes in with a brilliant draft.
He had the best draft.
He had the best draft. I agree. His first, 4 picks were outstanding. Jonathan Taylor, Tyreek Hill,
Travis Kelce,
Lamar Jackson. I mean, that right there.
Then he went David Montgomery.
I love Metcalf on the bench.
Yeah, you got to get Metcalf in as a starter there,
I know. I'd put him in over Hunt for sure.
Small.
Yeah, you got to take Kareem Hunt out of there. But yeah, I mean, it's Kareem Hunt. He has a good team.
Yeah. Dave did great, but again, fantasy football is a war of attrition. If you don't know how to pick up players, make trades, you will not last.
Yeah.
So that's where Dave had a great draft. Guess what?
Oh man, I don't like Juju and Amari Cooper on this team. I don't like those two receivers personally. But
all right, so that's it. There's the draft recap. So let's go to our next question: is who will be the number one fantasy player weeks 1 through 4? So the first quarter of the season.
Yep.
Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with... Hold on a second here. I think I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts.
You going with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I think he'll be the number one player through the first 4 weeks. They have a pretty easy schedule coming in. They play Detroit, and, he's got a lot more weapons. Reports that he's throwing better now. So I just think he, is going to go off. I mean, all year really, but I think he'll be the number one guy through the first 4 weeks. Yeah.
So I'm going with, and this might grab you, but I'm going with Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is gonna. We already saw Lamar Jackson at an MVP level. Week 1, he's got the Jets. I forget who he's got week 2, but let me check. Week 2, he's got Miami at home. Week 3, he's at New England. That's a tough matchup. And then Buffalo. So I like Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to be the first month's MVP. Back to that MVP level.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we're going to go with 1 sleeper and 1 bust for the year. So who are you going to go with for your sleeper pick?
My sleeper pick, so there is a designation. We had to give a qualification for what a sleeper is, and we determined that a sleeper is someone that was drafted in round 10 or later. So this isn't like a round 5 or 6 sleeper, but a sleeper, actual sleeper, a guy that is taken in the back half of the draft, and it's like, wow, this guy has a potential to really blow up. I'm going with Tony Pollard, who was drafted in the 10th round. I love Ezekiel Elliott, if you know that. Yeah. I mean, if anybody knows that. I have Zeke in a dynasty league. I love him. I think he's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a great blocker, a receiver out of the backfield, great between the tackles. But I think you would be blind to say that he isn't losing a lot year after year. He's losing it. He's losing a step. He can still play. He's still going to be the starter. He's still going to be, I would say, top 40 player. But Tony Pollard, it's different this year. He's not just a backup to Zeke. This year, they're talking about getting Tony Pollard like 40% snaps in the slot. And Tony Pollard literally being the slot receiver, which he played in college at Memphis for the Dallas Cowboys. And if that happens, man, you better, watch out. And then Zeke goes down, it's over.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good sleeper. I agree with
Yeah.
you. The guy that I'm going to go with, there's a couple guys I've gone back and forth with, but I really think that Russell Wilson is going to be my sleeper. He went in the 11th round in our draft. He's on a new team where they're going to let him throw the ball more than he ever has. The thing with Seattle is that, they run the ball so much, and, even though he had great wide receivers over there, he never really got a chance to, throw a lot like he would like to. So
Yeah.
I think moving to Denver, he's got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. Who's the tight end?
Albert Okwuegbunam.
No, that's not what I was thinking of. There was somebody else I was thinking of. But he's got a good team around him, and I think that they're going to let him do it.
They got KJ Hamler.
They're going to let him do what he wants to do. And I think that, he'll finish within top 6, 7. I think really he'll be top 5. So he's going to be my sleeper.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so bust. We're going with a bust pick.
This was in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, first 3 rounds. I'm going with Travis Etienne. Now, typically, you would say Travis Etienne, how can he be a bust? He's coming off an injury. He didn't play 1 snap last year. Well, Dave Sarlo, my good friend and yours, took him in the 3rd round. That's a bust.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think it was an emotional pick for him because he's had James Robinson the last couple of
I
years?
do. I think
it was
I think he was trying to recreate the magic.
ETN had some familiar smelling perfume on, and
yes.
It tricked him. It caught
him. Drakkar, New York.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, my bust is old fat Lenny coming into camp,
fat
eating
man.
them double cheeses and drinking them milkshakes. He came into camp fat. They've gotten 2 injuries on their offensive line before the season has started.
Well, they lost
their
center, one of their best line. Yeah, their center went over to maybe Miami.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
But
they lost. They just
somebody else got injured.
Well, yeah. So that would be. I can't remember who it was. I think it was their center that got injured, Ryan Jensen.
Right. Yes.
So. And no, their guard, Alex Kappa, went to Cincinnati.
Jensen's injured.
He went to Cincinnati. Yeah, Jensen was the center last year, and he was
pro.
really good, and he got hurt. He's out for the season.
Yeah, so him coming into camp a little bit overweight, the thing with him is he's kind of a head case anyway. He's coming into camp not doing good. The offensive line is injured. Tom Brady came into camp super late. And the only positive thing that I could say about him, which probably is all you need, is that Tom Brady trusts to throw the ball to him, which that could get you where you need to go. But I just don't. I think this is the year that he starts to fall off a little bit. He's getting older, so he's going to be my bust this year.
Yeah. Okay, there you have it. Now, I think the last thing we got is our Super Bowl picks. Now we didn't do. Playoff projections. Champion.
Yeah. So let's pick 16. The top 6 teams that we think are going to make the playoffs.
Go ahead, you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with myself as the champion. I'm gonna go with K Slayers as number 2, Christmas Money number 3, In to Win number 4. OG number 5, and I don't know, dude. Hold on. First Crack number 6.
Okay. These are my playoff teams in no specific order. I'm going James sipping out the water fountain, aka Team Flash. I'm going Todd, Team OG, just because he knows how to run a team. Kevin, the K Slayers. I'm going with the All or Nothing, Mark Scaramuzzi. I'm going Christmas Money, and I'm going with Philly Special.
Thanks.
So, but my champion is going to be Case Layers.
Yeah, I could see. I like his team.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now the Super Bowl pick.
Super Bowl pick. Yep.
All
I
right.
think this is easy for me. I'm going Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
I know it's popular, but I mean, you would be foolish to bet against them. I mean, they're definitely the best team in the AFC. And don't get me wrong, the Broncos, the Chargers, I think the Chiefs, teams like that will give them a run.
Yeah.
But
Who do you think they're going to play?
I think they're going to play the Rams. Yeah, both of them are coached really well. They have good all around teams. I mean, special teams, defense, offense. So I think Buffalo. I think this first game, this first Thursday night, is a preview for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be.
I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Bills are going to win it all too. I mean, I don't. After that game last year,
They're
with the Chiefs,
pissed after that game,
they
dude.
won it so bad.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is just so good. Yeah, I don't see how they lose without some sort of injury happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I want to say the Rams, but I just feel like they're not going to go back because they were back last year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Trey Lance takes a step up, and they're a good team. Well,
yeah. Absolutely.
All right. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, well, guys, man, enjoy the opening kickoff of the NFL season, and good luck to everyone. Remember, when the season starts, take that player out of your flex. You don't want to start guys in the flex on Thursday night. There's a tip. Remember that all year. Do not start anyone on Thursday night in the flex. It gives you wiggle room. It gives you more players to be able to play in case of an emergency.